Welcome back to the Alabama Film Room. I'm Lauren Sisler, joined by former Alabama quarterback John Parker Wilson. And what better person to have here today, because we are talking about the quarterbacks. Jalen Hurts having one of the most impressive debuts of any of the quarterbacks in week one of the college football season. I want your initial thoughts on his performance against USC.
So we've been talking about it all year. Football is finally back, and it seems like Alabama has started to find a quarterback, and Jalen Hurts comes out. Second guy to take snaps after Blake Barnett, but from what we saw in the spring, his poise and composure, he carried that into Dallas, Texas against the USC Trojans and maintained it the whole game. Didn't have the best start with the fumble on the first play, but he recovered and threw a couple touchdowns, ran a couple, took care of the ball for the most part, and put a lot of points on the board.
Yeah, those headlines, Jalen Hurts so good. That's a Justin King reference. All right, let's break down a couple of these plays. He had a couple big bomb touchdowns and an interception in this game. We'll start with the touchdowns.
He did. So let's start with his first touchdown right here. Coming out, Lane Kiffin doing a good job of moving the pocket. We'll let it play all the way through on this first one, but showing his arm strength. I mean, 55-yard strike down the field, right in line to our Darius Stewart, and does a good job of reading the defense right here. So he is on the run, but at the same time, he's going to have to read the defense, and especially the safety right here. It's a two-man route with Dieter. We've got a go route on the outside. So basically, all he's doing, Jalen Hurts, is as he's running, he's keeping his eye on the safety. You see the safety get caught up on the inside receiver, and when he does, he knows he's taking his eyes outside. The impressive thing is he takes his eyes outside, but the receiver's outside of the line of play and still throws a strike. Just like I said earlier, he takes this time and lets the plays develop. And you can see the receiver doing a good job of getting pushed off his route but maintaining. We saw a lot from this kid last year. Hopefully we see a lot more, but I think the poise in Jalen Hurts and the arm strength. I mean, we knew how big a guy he was, how fast a runner he is, but the arm strength downfield right here was pretty impressive.
All right, John Parker, you talk about poise and composure from a young guy like him. How big is it for him to see that blitz coming and still deliver a play like this?
Yeah, so we have a secondary blitz from USC. It's third down. You kind of know this when you break on third down. You know it's a time for the defense to run some of these elaborate protections or elaborate defenses where you have to dial these protections to beat them. And right here, one of the things we always talk about is protection first. And I think he sees this, he understands the situation. We'll see a corner free safety blitz from the Trojans, and you know immediately that they've got too many guys blitzing and we have to throw it hot. So you can't hold on the ball. The hard thing for a quarterback is as soon as you see this, you got to let the defense come to you and throw a strike for a touchdown. We'll see him do just that. He waits till the defense almost gets to him and then once again hits Stewart on a long touchdown, but it's the ability to see the blitz, to recognize you've got 1,000 things going on in the play and still feel on what's going on. Now, it's a little bit of a bust by the USC Trojans. Let's not let them completely off the hook. We'll see the two cornerback, the free safety blitz. Technically, this free safety is supposed to get all the way over here. Probably wouldn't have been a touchdown, but still, the key here and the big thing here is recognizing the blitz on third down and throwing a strike. It ends up being a much bigger play than it should because of the busted coverage by USC. But this is kind of advanced algebra for a freshman guy coming in, playing in a clutch situation like this.
Now, John Parker, earlier you mentioned that Jalen Hurts had that fumble at the very beginning of the game. Third quarter, he throws an interception. What did you see here?
Yeah, so of course we got to pick on the quarterbacks so they throw the interception. And even though he's a freshman, it's no different. So we got to call him out a little bit. But I think this is just one of those learning curves from a freshman. So this is a cover two defense from the defense, the Trojans, where they've got two safeties over top. The cornerbacks responsible, that's out of the picture, are responsible for the flats. And then these linebackers right here have the hook zone. What happens is we have a outside release go route by the Z receiver. But usually when you run this route, you're going to have a flat to hold the corner. There's no flat in this situation. The cornerback drops. Hurts, we know he has a big arm, tries to fit it in. But with the safety over top and the cornerback just sinking, there's really nowhere to go, and that's why it's such an easy pick for the defense. The receiver did what he's supposed to do, go outside. There was no flat underneath, and it's throwing right to us. So this is one of the things you go back and you look at all week long. So you watch the film on Sunday, you watch it again on Monday, and you can learn from this, especially as a freshman. You got to sometimes stub your toe to know what's going on. He knows when he sees this cover two look, there's nobody holding the flat. Okay, I got to move on to my next read immediately, or they're pulling down a run.
Now, we've obviously learned a lot about Jalen Hurts today, thanks to you. More about Blake Barnett, though. Nick Saban told us on Monday in his press conference that both quarterbacks would play a lot this upcoming weekend, despite Jalen Hurts going out there and playing the way he did on Saturday. What are your thoughts on Blake Barnett?
Yeah, I think Hurts came out and did fabulous. Obviously, everybody knows that. But Blake Barnett came in, struggled early, kind of looked a little nervous. But when he came in the second time, he made some really good throws. He made a great second read downfield to O.J. Howard, and then the long strike to Dieter, a long touchdown. That was a very good pass, right on the money. He's got the skills. I think getting more games underneath this belt. Don't forget, this was his first start also. And it's been even longer for him since he's gone and got game action because he was a redshirt last year. I wouldn't call it a quarterback controversy. I think we've got two really good quarterbacks. So we got to work through this game against Western Kentucky and then get ready for Ole Miss the following week.